What makes Pasadena City College unique? You could start with the fact that it's called Pasadena home for nearly a century. You could highlight how nearly every New Year's Day, the world-famous Rose Parade has passed right by its doorstep. You could list the Jackie Robinsons, Octavia Butlers, Jaime Escalantes, Van Halens, and other amazing alumni that have graced its campus. You could look at its students, its faculty, its counselors, coaches, and tutors. You could look at all of the people that work at PCC every day to help our students succeed. But today, we're not going to do that. We're going to show you what PCC looks like from the ground level in real space. PCC shares a name and a location with Pasadena, California, which is one of those places that you'd think only existed in the movies. In fact, it has.
So you think you made it into the class, Shorty?
The college is located in an urban center that feels like a small town, but it's got to be one of the biggest small towns in the country. But PCC is bigger than Pasadena. We have campuses spread across the Pasadena Area Community College District. From PCC Northwest at John Muir High School to PCC Rosemead in the southeastern section of our district, to the Foothill Campus Community Education Center, the Child Development Center, to our flagship Colorado campus. Each facility serves a purpose: to bring the promise of education into our community. That purpose first took root on Colorado Boulevard. The central campus core is 3 complementary buildings circling our historic mirror pools. These 3 buildings used to be the entire college, Pasadena Junior College, but we've grown a bit. These 3 are now dedicated to the Horace Mann, or C Building, holds English, ESL and languages, the social sciences, and campus administration. And right in its middle is Sexton Auditorium. Here's a fun fact. One of Van Halen's first shows ever was on the Sexton Auditorium stage. To the east and west are twin Art Deco buildings that house Earth Sciences, the Learning Assistance Center, International Student Center, Disabled Students Programs and Services, and the Student Health Center. Next to the C Building is the Quad, the center of campus life. This space hosts student research presentations, spirit activities, civic and cultural groups, food trucks and movie nights, and political rallies. Ringing the Quad are the Catherine Robbins R Building, with the Math Department and Math Success Center, plus the Dental Program, and the Quest Center, a space for undocumented and LGBT students to find fellowship and support. Next door is the Bookstore and Campus Center, with the Black Student Success Center and Ujima and the Puente Project. The Lancer Pantry provides healthy nutrition to roughly 3,000 students a month. Journalism is taught here, as is culinary arts. PCC's associated students hold their meetings here, and the Office of Student Life inspires the campus spirit. Every summer, the Wi-Fi Lounge transforms into the Welcome Center, where students and their families get a taste of college life. The IT Building is also home to the Robert G. Freeman Center for Career and Completion, a new addition to PCC Student Services operation. The Freeman Center brings career advice, coaching, job search, and placement activities under one roof, providing a hub for students and local employers to find ways to work together. Down the way from here is PCC's Planetarium and the Observatory. Yep, we've got one of each. Oh, and Albert Einstein was here to help open these buildings in the 1930s. Yeah, that guy. On our way back west across campus, we'll go past the recently expanded Veterans Resource Center, which helps former service members find their path through civilian life. The VRC has made PCC a top school for veterans in each of the past 8 years. The swimming pool and the gymnasium are right here, along with Robinson Stadium. That last one was named for Mac and Jackie Robinson, who both played here before they went on to change the face of sports for all time. The Center for the Arts brings together visual arts and performing arts in PCC's newest building. This is home to the historic Herald Trumpets and Tournament of Roses Honor Band. With more than 230 members, this musical powerhouse is a highlight of every celebration on New Year's morning. The Center for the Arts also houses one of PCC's art galleries, a fully stocked music lab, the Black Box Theater, and Westerbeck Recital Hall. Just walk through the space and you can feel the music and art surround you. Galloway Plaza and the Boone Sculpture Garden take us over to Shatford Library, where PCC's dedicated library staff help students conduct research, uncover new knowledge, and develop habits of learning that will serve them throughout their academic career. The building also houses Lancer Radio and its podcast studio, and PCC's hard-working Information Technology Services team. Here's a riddle for our times. What do you get when you take a college away from its campuses? The answer is something completely unexpected. As soon as the coronavirus pandemic hit, PCC shifted gears to take its teaching and services online. Staff rearranged their lives to work from home, setting up Zoom rooms and chat lines to help students navigate a new world. Faculty turned their classes on a dime, launching hybrid learning and sharing new ideas with their colleagues and beyond. Much of this response was made possible by PCC's embrace of wraparound services for its students. The Pathways FIE First-Year Experience program provides high-touch advising, college success courses, career exploration, and a place of belonging to all of PCC's first-year students. That's roughly 5,500 people every year. And now they're doing it remotely, on demand, and in ways that continuously adapt to our students' needs. It's a bit of a paradox that taking away our space created so much space for us to grow. Someday, we'll come back to our brick-and-mortar lives. We're ready to keep exploring and improving our services to students and the community. We'll break new barriers. We're always learning. We're excited to share what we find.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Talene. Okay, so what we plan to do is we have a few questions we want to ask our student panel. And if you're in a room that's kind of noisy, then please turn off your mic. If you have a question, you can go ahead and just ask it. We're going to kind of go round robin. But again, our guests here today are Talene, Mila, and Dion. You want to introduce yourselves? Just real quickly, tell us who you are and what university you are representing today.
I will take the lead. Hello, everyone. My name is Milagros, but people call me Mila for short. I am a proud PCC alumni. I transferred out fall 2018, and I started at USC. And what else am I missing? If you have any questions, just please feel free to ask, and I'm more than happy to help you guys. Hopefully see you on my campus. I have some bias towards one of my colleagues here, but yeah.
Dion, want to tell us a little about yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Dion Shelton, and I too am a PCC alumna. I graduated and transferred in class of 2020. So just recently, I currently go to UCR, so UC Riverside. Fun fact, I used to be the president of Associated Students at PCC. So if you have any questions about like extracurricular activities or what does it take to be involved in student government, feel free to shoot them my way.
Last but not least, Talene.
Hi, everybody. My name is Talene Balayan. I am a proud PCC alumna. I majored in political science and I transferred to UCLA. So go Bruins and Lancers, obviously.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to kind of start off with some questions that we put together that I thought maybe students traditionally ask when I go out and I do presentations. And you guys, I'll just start calling off your names. So it's going to be in random order. Talene, what would be one tip that you would give students coming into PCC? We're going to assume there are high school students who are just getting ready to transfer in coming summer or fall.
So I would say, given that PCC has so many opportunities, whether that's extracurricular opportunities or on-campus jobs, I would say it's a good idea to prioritize the opportunities that you want to pursue so that you don't spread yourself too thin. So if you want to join clubs, maybe just pick one or a couple that you'd be interested in. So that way you can really be involved in the club and your efforts can go well, and you can still, have a part-time job that you do well at, and you also can still be a good student. That would be my advice. Prioritize what you want.
Thank you. That's great. Mila, same question. What are some of the tips you would give an incoming student?
Oh, two main ones. Number one would be to find a way to spread out your classes in a way where it's bearable. So one quick example, my second semester at PCC was probably my hardest semester in college so far, and I'm about to become a senior. And that's because I was taking a chemistry course, a stats course, a neuropsychology course, and then a GE. That is not, and then I was interning outside of that. So that's way too much, and that's not setting yourself up for success, actually. So if there's a way to take chemistry one semester and your stats class the next semester, you're more prone to succeed. Another thing is, it sounds daunting, but go to office hours. That's something that I wish I would have done when I started. But it goes a long way because you have that one-on-one with your professor. They see that you care, and that matters when you're on the breaking point between a B+ and an A-. They definitely take that into consideration. So that's the best thing I know it can be scary to meet with your professors, but it goes a long way, believe me.
Yeah, and something a lot of, again, incoming high school students don't realize, the professors are required to keep office hours. So it's not like, so when they are required to be there at a particular point in time, so students can walk in and get their questions answered. So like to Mila's point, as a professor would be like, yeah, I can see that the student, is trying, they're asking, they're not just indifferent about the whole course. So that could be that difference between that B+ or A-. Dion, if you were to restart your journey at PCC, what would you do differently? And actually, I'm going to feed into this one. Dion's our non-traditional student. So I shared that earlier in the presentation. So that's a great question for you. If you were to restart your journey at PCC, what would you do different, if anything?
So, if I wanted to, if I were to restart my journey, I would just probably restart it more confidently within myself. So I went to PCC directly after high school. And because I didn't really know what I wanted to do or what I could do at PCC, I was very overwhelmed because it was like my first time at like a university and there was like a lot of people there and like classes were hard to navigate through, whatever. So like I lost a lot of confidence in myself. I felt like I just got really overwhelmed and then I quit, you know what I mean? And then I took some time to like get to know myself and get to know who I am as a person. And then I came back to school and had a little bit more confidence in myself and what I wanted out of school. I didn't just go because my mom and dad were making me or because it was because I really wanted to go. So I guess is to just be more confident in myself and know that this is something that I want to do instead of doing it for somebody else, i.e. like your parents or your grandparents or anything like that.
Awesome. Thank you. And one thing I want to do, and I know personally, because I know the young ladies here, Talene and Mila, I know you guys have different paths in the sense of, well, no pun intended, pathways. A lot of our incoming students are going to get involved with the first year experience pathways program. And then I believe Tramel might have mentioned the honors program. And I think I saw somebody in the chat want to find about the honors program, which is one of the great things that we use for our students who want to get into UCLA. I believe we're at about 80%, 8 out of 10 students who are in our honors program who apply to UCLA get into UCLA. So if you're a high school student, you've seen those admission numbers that are probably in the low teens trying to get into UCLA as a high school student. After your time at PCC in the honors program, you're now at 80%. So we believe that you're going to achieve it. So Mila, why don't you start and just talk about a little bit about the program? I know that you were, I believe, in the Pathways program. Right. Yeah, so just real briefly, because then I want to allow some time for the students to ask questions.
Sure. So just very briefly, yes, I was a part of Pathways my 2 years at PCC. It was imperative to my success because of the priority registration that comes behind it. They also have an open lab where they have free tutors. So you can always go there if you need help with math, free printing as well. That's where I met one of my mentors who no longer works there because he transferred somewhere else. But Pathways definitely is set up with the goal of trying to get you to transfer out as soon as possible, but also getting you to get in touch with yourself and what your interests are. So kind of like Dion was saying, there's nothing wrong with changing courses, like changing tracks. So maybe you wanted to start off as a psych major and then you decided, hey, I want to go into sociology. There's nothing wrong with that. College is all about that. And I think it's important to highlight, because some students can get anxiety when their courses change or major changes. It's all part of college. That's why the GEs are there. But yeah, that was me.
Thank you. And Talene, so you didn't do the pathways. Shame on you. Such a great program. But you did honors. Kudos. So I take back my shame. You were in the honors program. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So yes, if I could do things differently, if I could go back and do things differently, I would definitely join the Pathways program for the priority registration and the extra support. But I'm really grateful I was in the honors program. And why am I grateful? Because the honors classes, I think, had the academic rigor that prepared me for UCLA. And not only that, but the honors program at PCC has partnerships with schools like UCLA, UC Irvine, Occidental College. So that's why when Alan was saying that a lot of students who are in our program, in the honors program, get admitted to UCLA, that's why, because we have partnerships with those universities to get you priority consideration for admission if you complete the honors program. And you could argue, even if the honors program doesn't have like a formal partnership with that school, it looks good on any application. It looks good on applications to any university to show that you completed your community college's honors program.
Yeah, and one thing I've kind of heard is the honors program. What I want to make clear is that we have these different programs: Pathways, Honors, TAG, all these different programs. It's not one or the other. You can be in all these programs. So when Tremel was talking about the different TAG programs and the AAT, the AST, the transfers to Cal States, a student can come in and join Pathways, be in Pathways, also be in the honors program, also be shooting for your AAT, and in your TAG, covering all the bases. And again, I know I can talk a lot, but we have some people who are asking some questions. And does anybody have a question? You can open your mic and ask directly to the panel or myself.
I just quickly want to highlight something, that if your goal is to aim for UCLA, you do not have to be a part of the honors program to be admitted. I wasn't a part of the honors program and I got into UCLA as well. It's Pathways can help you get there. It's really just about picking your classes and your professors wisely, and doing something outside of school too, if you can.
And I think I see a question in the chat. Celine's asking, can you join the honors program halfway? And the answer is yes, as long as you just complete 15 units of honors coursework before you leave PCC, then you can. Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I've been told that the honors program, a way to kind of look at it would be like taking AP at your high school. You're still in the classes. It's just that other thing that a little more rigorous curriculum that goes on your transcript that, looks good to the other universities.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. I was never an honor student. Sorry. Anybody, any questions? Anybody in the chat, or you want to open your microphone?
Yes, please, questions. I think I'm actually going to drop the link to the honors program in the chat right now. Give me one
Great.
second.
Thank you.
Mila.
And I know as a parent, my son just came out of, he went to PCC out of high school. He didn't know what he wanted to do. He went to PCC, got involved with the Pathways program, the first year experience. And it was a lifesaver for him, because he came out of high school really not college ready, but all those extra services, all the people, the counselors, the academic advisors, the downright cheerleaders pushing him and encouraging him, he was able to go out and get accepted to all the universities that he applied to. He applied to 5 and he got accepted to all 5 of them. And he's doing great now. And it really was that helping hand that kind of changed his, academic life going forward. Can you try different clubs and how do you sign up? Back in the day, I mean, Dion, you can probably talk about that better than myself. So.
You're muted,
Yeah,
Dion.
Okay.
yes. So you can definitely try different clubs. So traditionally, there is two events that happen, one in fall and one in spring. They're both called Club Rush, and it's basically where all the clubs and organizations come out into the quad and they try to recruit new members. So PCC has a very robust student life. We have over 100 clubs and organizations on campus. So there's an extracurricular activity for just about anything. So like if you wanted to be pre-med, we have Caduceus Club. It's our pre-med club. If you wanted to be, if you are part of the queer LGBTQ community, we have Queer Alliance, which is our biggest, that hosts our biggest queer population school. They do really good things for the community. We have research clubs, we have LARPing clubs, we have fencing clubs. So basically, whatever interests you think you have, there is an extracurricular a club for it. So the best way to do that is to check them out during Club Rush. And I know that they have been doing virtual Club Rushes since the pandemic started. So that's on the Associated Students YouTube channel, I believe. I don't have the link to that now, but if anyone is interested, I can find it for you and give it to you, just so you know.
Okay, so I got a message that about time for us to wrap up because I know everyone has to get to the next session. If somebody could put in the outreach email. So Mila, Dion, Talene, we all work in the outreach office. And so we have our outreach at pasadena.edu. So if you have any other questions, you can email it there and we'll get you directed. I saw one real quick was something about getting into the honors. Yes, we have what's called honors at entrance. So when you do your application, based on your high school GPA, you might be receiving an email from them saying, would you be interested into doing the honors at entrance? But after if you already have at PCC, after your first semester, if your GPA is above, I think 3.0 or 3.2 with 15 units completed, then you can join the honors program. You'll see lots of messages. They're going to say tag workshop, honors workshop. But yeah, going forward, I want to thank you guys for joining. If you have any other questions, I know sometimes people are shy and they don't ask them, but you can email us at outreach@pasadena.edu. Thank you, Mila, for putting that in there, and join the next session. I know we have Dean Armando Duran, who's going to be doing a workshop, and I'm just going to say, like, to literally have the Dean of Counseling out here on a Saturday, you cannot underestimate the amount of wealth of knowledge and answer questions and everything else that he'll be able to help you with. So if you guys do have questions, please join his session. Again, I'm saying Dean. It's impressive to have a counselor, but actually the Dean of Counseling is out here on a Saturday to work with you guys. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and hopefully we'll be seeing you guys virtually and then physically on our campus real soon. Bye.
Yes. Please attend the Career Communities Workshop session Alan was referring to. There are deans, some faculty, some cool programs. So they're about to start now, the Career Communities. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.